Calvary Crew volunteers. Hey, this is Curtis. Today we're going to talk about the photo guidelines and how to upload images into ministry platform for your volunteers in your ministry or your campus. All right. So first of all, let's talk about why are volunteer photos important. Proverbs 27:23 instructs us to be sure to know the condition of your flocks. And how can we know the condition of our flocks if we don't know what they look like? Plus, pastors, elders, and deacons use photos to keep track of volunteers by their face, especially when the volunteer is new. Plus, these photos are used for printing badges after they have completed their 90-day integration process. Likewise, photo images are used for check-in with some volunteer check-in applications. So how to photograph volunteers? Well, first of all, you start with taking the photo on your phone. So from a high quality mobile phone, take a picture of them. Just a couple of notes here. Have the volunteer stand with a solid color background behind them. Neutral colored wall or backdrop. No patterns or decorations. Plus, it's not good to use images off of Facebook. Those pulls with, from somebody's vacation or pictures with their dog, just not gonna cut it. So on your cell phone, make sure that the flash is on. This ensures that the exposure is proper and that the colors are correct. And then also make sure that the photograph has the volunteer face where it's centered on the screen, and also that it's only head and shoulders. All right, this is important. The framing of the photo should be from 1 to 2 inches above the scalp down to the top of the shoulders. Their chest should not be visible. You may need to have the phone awkwardly close to the individual to actually get this kind of photo, but it's very important. Key thing, do not zoom in on the photo to take the photo. It lowers the resolution of the image. So over here, we have a photo. This is a good example of head and shoulders photo. A couple inches left of space here between the scalp and the top of the image frame. And we have it ending down here around his shoulders. Note that the chest is not visible. And over here on the right side, you can see this is a poor example of a photograph. There's a lot of negative space around here. We can see the edges of a backdrop. Face really isn't discernible. So good on the left, bad on the right. Now, how to transfer the photos from your mobile phone. So from your phone's camera or photo library, set up a photo. Select the photo of the volunteer, and we're going to email that from your phone to a computer. So go ahead and initiate that. In the subject line of the email, write the volunteer's name with their last name first, comma, then their first name and the mobile phone number, including the dashes, that matches their contact record and ministry platform. Here we have an example of my name with a false phone number here. And why do we do this? This is how contacts are sorted in MP. So we can take this, and if you look, we can copy that and actually go straight into ministry platform. And when we go for a search, we can type that information in, and it's already done for us. So voila, we can bring it up really quick. So that's why we do that. Okay. It's just to speed up the process. So in the message body of the email, note if they needed to be added within any groups or any relevant information which should be included or modified. In other words, when you get this email, or if your ministry overseer or another volunteer coordinator sees this photo and this email, they're going to have an understanding of what to do with it. Some examples given here is add to the welcome team within the 1115 group, their birth date, and what their specific email is. Send the background check notification email as well. They need a 90-day integration checklist, etc. So critical point, please. Images must be emailed and uploaded when we get to ministry platform in full resolution. I repeat, it's critical that we do this in full resolution, otherwise the badges won't print correctly. Do not downsize the images when emailing or uploading. So like on the iPhone, when you go to email an image, it will ask you what size do you want to send that to. And then after filling out the information above, then you're going to send that photo to your ministry, campus, or overseer's email. Some of those examples are Parkland at Calvary FTL, hospitality at calvaryftl.org, or a specific person that you may know needs to get that information, or it could be to yourself, whichever works for you. Okay, if you're unsure who to send it to, check with your team leader. Okay, so here is an example of the email sent from a phone. Here's the name we're using, my name, just as a fictitious example with a fictitious phone number. In some notes, here's the new volunteer's photo. Please add to the 11 o'clock welcome team. Also needs the 90-day integration checklist. Now here's a quick little tip to help expedite this. If you take this information that we put in the subject line of the email, right, I'm going to highlight that and copy it. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to save the attachment. It's going to open up the Save Attachment dialog box, and I'm going to rename that with the information from the subject line. So now I will have the individual's first name, last name, and their phone number as the image number in my Downloads folder. Great way to find those photos quickly and easily so we don't forget where they are when we need them. All right, so now we have emailed the photo from the phone, and we've downloaded that into our Downloads folder or onto our desktop, and we've renamed that with the volunteer's name and their mobile number so we can quickly find it. Now we're in Ministry Platform. We've signed in, so this is what we're gonna do, and it goes pretty quick. It's pretty easy. Contacts, click on the contacts. Now we've copied and pasted that individual's information, so I'm going to go here and actually enter that in there and remove that phone number. So this is the individual. All right, click on that and it's going to open up the contact record page, right? So now we can go and click on Attach File. It says click to browse or drag the file there. I'm just going to click on that. It's going to bring open the dialog box. And remember, we put that photo in the Downloads folder by their name. So there's the file that we want to use. Click on that to open it. And then this is critical, very, very critical. Right here, we need to make sure that in this dialog box, it says do not resize the image. That's very important. Otherwise, we're going to have some problems down the road. Do not resize the image. Click on Add as an Attachment, and you're going to see it's going to add it right there. All right, now my previous photo was the same, but that's what it's going to look like over here underneath the Files section in Ministry Platform. That's where that's going to be, and you can look up that information. So it is that simple. One other point too, if you need to change it, see I've got some other photos that are there. If you want to change it, here's a great one that looks really great. You can do that. All you have to do is click on that little checkbox right there, and that will switch it. And here's one from many years ago that's been highly photoshopped. And here's one of my very first photos as a volunteer many days ago, an example of a bad photo. So that's kind of how we do it in Ministry Platform to get photos from your phone into Ministry Platform. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us here at volunteerhelp@calvaryftl.org. We are so thankful for all the things you do. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Ciao.